Welcome back to the Creative Chicken. Today I'm working in my small Dylusions art journal. I'm going to begin by creating a background using some craft acrylic paints. You can use any of the craft acrylics you have lying around. I've just picked some blue and some green because I wanted a nice bright background. I'm going to apply these using a brayer, so I pop some spots of paint onto my craft mat and load my brayer up. Then simply applying to the page. I'm not too worried about getting complete coverage because I actually want a patchy background here. And now repeating with the second colour. Now whenever I use a brayer, I always have a spare art journal lying around, so that if I have any paint left over like this, I can just put it straight onto a blank page and have the beginnings of a background ready for the next time. So once my page was dry, I picked up my black Pebeo gesso, popped a little bit on my mat, and decided I wanted to create some circles on my page. I didn't have a stamp handy, so I just picked up a tea light, and by dipping the plastic cover of the tea light into the gesso, I was able to create circle shapes on my art journal page. So next I picked up a bit of sponge foam, and I used that to apply black gesso to my page through one of my Tim Holtz layering stencils. And you notice I'm just dabbing with the foam. I didn't rub because I didn't want too much of the gesso on the page. Next I decided I wanted to add some splatters to my page, so I dipped my splatter brush in my water jar, rubbed it in the gesso, and then splattered. Once my splatters were dry, I got out some of my indigo blue mini stamps and my Stazon ink in black and stamped some different textures onto my page. To add colour, I decided I was going to use my Dina Scribble sticks. Now you can use these directly onto your page by scribbling and then adding water with your brush, but I prefer to wet my brush first and then rub it across the top of the scribble stick to pick up the pigment and paint with it almost like a watercolour. There we go, that's all of the circles coloured in with my scribble sticks. Now time to work on my focal point, and I decided to use a stamp from the recent indigo blue mixed media boxed set which came out. So just using a piece of scrap stamping card and my good old trusty stamping platform, I stamped out the paintbrush stamp using VersaMark ink. Run over with the heat tool just to set the ink, and then it was time to colour in the paintbrush. Again, I went back to my Dina Scribble sticks and just used them as a watercolour to paint in the brush. Now you notice that I'm not too neat with this. That's because I'm actually going to fussy cut the brush out, so going over the lines isn't a problem. Now the brush is all painted, I simply took my scissors and fussy cut the brush out, ignoring the rest of the stamp around the edge. So next I stamped the stamp onto my page, and then using PVA glue I stuck the paintbrush that I just fussy cut out over the top. And I added a few words from Tim Holtz Small Talk. So to make the circles stand out, I took my Stabilo Aquarelable Pencil in black and I went around the outlines of those along with the words and the cut out pencil. I then took a wet paintbrush over the top of the aquarelable pencil I just drawn on, and as you can see, that releases the pigment, giving you nice black lines around the edges of our bits and pieces on our page, which really makes them pop. Sure my page was nice and dry, then took one of my white POSCA pens and added some scribbly circles around the circles already on my page. I decided to create a border using some of my Holtz Washi tape. However, I felt that it was a little wide, so I just popped it onto the edge of the page and then used my scissors to trim it down to size. And there we go, that's our journaling page finished for today. Hope you've enjoyed crafting along with Creative Chicken. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. Hope to see you again soon. Bye.